just learning to read, perfect for them. But the most important thing I can tell you about it is that we are donating 100% of the author's proceeds to the V Foundation.
Awesome.
This is the second book. It's the second time that we've done that, and this one we're going to be donating all of the money to a grant for pediatric cancer at the V Foundation, where 100% of the donations go directly towards fighting it because they are fully vested. So I'll have more time over the course of the week to talk about it, but Beetle, I will make sure you have a copy for all of your dogs.
Thank you. I will read them to my dog. Has it gone to Phoebe's head, or does she know yet?
Phoebe's superstar. Phoebe has been a star on social media as it is.
She really has.
But it's again, it's a classic children's book. So while the book was inspired by the fight against cancer, there's nothing about cancer in the book. It is meant to be read to 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds, any little kid who loves a dog. And Phoebe, I think, Beetle, I think you would like it as well. I'll try to get Phoebe in the studio.
Leroy Jenkins.
He'll love it.
All right, new hour starts right now.
Come on, get up! LeBron James taking over. Got it. Back to James for the layup. It's good. LeBron James throws another. The Cavaliers take game 7.
LeBron James was magnificent in this game.
Harden off to a great start.
For the most part, I'm going to do what I do.
Harden cuts right through the Jazz with another 3. Why not, says Harden. We've got liftoff.
Rounds 2 and 3, so much talent still on the board.
The Seattle Seahawks select Shaquem Griffin.
For everybody who doubted me, they're going to really feel who I am.
Stand back, leaping up, and he caught it. He got it.
I would be stunned if this was a clean catch.
What a play. That's as good as it gets right there.
And we welcome you back to Get Up as we roll along live from above the Heineken River Deck at Pier 17. A lot of fun being had this morning and a lot of sports to jam in here. That's Beetle, that's Jalen, Ryan Clark, a terrific job being in here with us this morning. And we will welcome another guest. Longtime New York Jet Nick Mangold will be here in studio during.
I'm sure you're excited about that.
Oh, he was a terrific player. You must have
Absolutely.
smashed to him a time or two.
I tried not to.
He'll do some hot takes for us, and he is from Ohio, so he was probably excited to watch LeBron yesterday in Game 7. Who wasn't? LeBron was ready to go. By now, you've probably seen this, mouthing to his family who was sitting there. He's going to play the whole game, and he almost did. He did play every second of the first half, Jalen. He made his first 7 shots. He scored 26 in the first half. He was unstoppable.
You can't ignore the brilliance of LeBron James, but if you're the Indiana Pacers, you made him too comfortable early. You got to run people at him. You got to try to frustrate him. You got to try to make somebody else beat you early in the game. If LeBron James gets 26 points in the first half, that's enough points to keep his squad in the game. The Pacers made a run, as you see with Victor Oladipo, once he got going. But once LeBron starts 7 for 7, they were in a really good spot to win the game.
Oladipo sort of owned the third quarter, as did the Pacers. They won the quarter 31-24, and scarier still for Cleveland. LeBron James to the locker room late in the third quarter, missed the first few minutes of the fourth quarter, but his teammates picked him up. It was remarkable. The gang that couldn't shoot straight finally started shooting. And there's Kevin Love knocking one down. They were actually +6 with LeBron on the bench during that stretch of time. LeBron loved watching it. They extended the lead, and then he came back and took care of business. Kyle Korver, a willing passer, finding LeBron cutting to the basket. This was sort of the bucket that sealed the game. LeBron finishes with 45 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. The Cavaliers hang on for a hard-fought 7-game victory on to play Toronto, and everyone was talking about LeBron.
It's hard to put into words, but you know, that's why he's the best player on the planet. He put us on his back. He did it all for us this series.
I thought I had a good motor, but his motor is unreal. He's got a Lamborghini motor, so it's amazing to see what he's able to do, and especially in year 15. Geez, if I could find out the remedy for that, I'll definitely take it.
How does what you saw from Indiana, especially their bigs, translate to what you're going to see next round?
I don't know. I'm burnt right now. I'm not thinking about Toronto right now until tomorrow. I'm ready to go home. I'm tired. I want to go home.
Well, he certainly put in a full day's work, and so a huge win. And look, numbers are what they are. They were -2 in differential with him on the floor and +6 with him off the floor. So they're telling me that I should ask you if we've been underestimating the players around LeBron during this series. And so I'm dying to hear your answer.
Don't do this.
Yes.
Oh, for the love of it.
Ow! Here's why. Okay.
Oh.
There's going to be many people.
This is what he's about to do. He's about the basketball talkers.
He said
He's going to basketball talkers.
There's going to be many people that pick up the box score and just think this win was only LeBron James and him being phenomenal, which he was. 45 points, 10 years apart. Did it in 2008.
This one win?
Did it in 2018. This one win happened, Mike Greenberg, because teammates finally decided to show up.
So then how are we underestimating them?
You say this one win, though, Jay?
Correct. But if his teammates don't play well, they don't win yesterday.
True statement.
True
statement. If they play well at any other time this series, they don't play Game 7.
We don't get to Game 7. Wait,
and if they were better than they are, then he would not have to have gone into the game saying, I'm not coming out under any circumstances. And the fact that they needed every single one of those points, rebounds, and assists from him, and still barely won. Barely
like
won.
angry about this.
You just made my point.
He did?
How?
How did I do that?
LeBron said that he was going to play.
This really is Jalen versus everybody.
Yeah, it is. You remember when LeBron said he was not going to come out of the game? What happened when he went out of the game?
Yeah, they extended the lead. I get it.
They probably went in the back and prayed and cried.
So here's a perfect thing about sports, how people change the narrative based on the result. If LeBron James comes back into that game and his team is down 10 points and they lose, LeBron got an alibi. I played well. My team wasn't able to hold it down when I got hurt. They were down. They were up 2 when LeBron went out.
I see you, Ryan.
When he came back, they were up 9.
Jalen Rose. No other man on this team had 20 points in any of the 7 games. They shot 16 of 49 yesterday. That's not good.
That we underestimated.
Yeah, I feel like we're on the wrong.
Did Tristan Thompson play well yesterday?
He played well.
Well, what a miracle.
But we have set the bar so low for this particular supporting cast that we are celebrating subpar play
I gotta tell y'all something. LeBron James isn't on a super team anymore.
Right, but can you agree?
He was like he wasn't even on a team before this. It was like 1 against 5 every game. The man said he wasn't coming out. The man said, I'm going to play the whole game.
This is why when there's a fracture with Kyrie Irving, you got to try to find a way to make it work.
Well, now you're singing my song. I agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when it does not work, you're saying, I'm going to accept the burden of carrying this squad.
Right.
That's what he is doing. This is why they're in the second round.
To the big number here. It's one thing not to have a super team. It's another thing to have a lousy team. Here's the big number.
How you going to say they're a lousy team and they're in the second round of the playoffs?
They're lousy.
Because he's that good. And he scored 45 in a Game 7 for the second time in his career. He's the only player in NBA history to do that twice. It's the 20th time. This is a statistic that deserves to be digested. It is the 20th playoff series in his career in which LeBron has led his team in points, rebounds, and assists.
So it wasn't the first, second, or the third. 20th. It was the 20th. Okay,
no other player has done it more than 6 times.
We're not saying he's not
the
best player on the planet.
And the Cavs, however, are an underdog going forward against Toronto. They're plus 180 according to Westgate. It's the first time he's been an underdog in any series in the East since 2008 when they played Boston. So, all right, let's get up and go. We're getting behind on everything here. Let's get up and go. The rest of the sports world yesterday. And we need one more moment from LeBron because this was hilarious. The great block from Tristan Thompson. And then watch the fan here who thinks he's getting a high five. Okay? And watch the recovery. To me, the recovery is
Kobe Bryant.
Yes. Nailed it.
I like that guy.
Got him.
Michael Jordan.
And based on that conversation, I'm going to project something. The Cavs role players are going to be much better versus the Raptors.
They can't be worse.
That's why I think they're going to advance through the second round as well, and Michelle Beadle has them losing.
All right, meanwhile, Game 1 in the West between the Jazz and the Rockets, and this one was all Houston, especially early. They opened a huge lead and then sort of put it on cruise control. James Harden, 41 points, 7 of 12 from 3. Jalen, is this going to be a series?
Yeah, it's going to be a series because games need to be played, but it's only going to be 5 total.
Really? That's what we're doing?
And
a series because they're scheduled?
Technically, yes, there will be a series.
But here's why James Harden is a legend. Not many guys have their number retired while they're still active. That is awesome.
For those of you at home, Google it. Gentlemen's clubs.
As if I didn't already know that.
He got his number retired in one.
That's exactly right. I don't even know what you're talking about. Tonight, he's got the Sixers and the Celtics, and that's Game 1 in Boston, and Jaylen Brown, as if the Celtics needed this. Jaylen Brown is doubtful with that hamstring. Anybody like Boston in this series? They are the home court advantage. They were the two.
I'm pretty sure nobody liked them before.
I was going to say, if we've learned anything this season, I'm not going against Boston on anything. Not to say they're going to win it, but I'm just not going to do it.
All I know is this is shaping up excellent if you're a fan of the Philadelphia 76ers.
Like America is.
It really is.
Everything fell their way, and they earned it by getting that 3 seed. All right, Stanley Cup playoffs.
Look at the brother. Look at the brother.
Jets and Preds in Nashville.
He doesn't have a shirt on, Jalen.
Yeah, This might be the worst one, actually, though.
Got his underwear out. Like, what are you talking about?
Here's what I'm talking about. Who's going to be drinking something off of that nasty fish that was on the ice while they were skating?
Offensive linemen?
Passing it to one another?
Offensive linemen?
It's just a messy. It's just messy.
These people don't care.
They should put the can in the mouth.
The result
and
sanitizer.
The result of the game, meanwhile, was this.
Like
Kevin Fiala scored 5.5 minutes into double overtime, and the Predators got the win. Beating Winnipeg 5-4, that evens up that series at 1 game apiece. Fiala, one of 9 players in history with multiple game-winning goals in the playoffs before turning 22. Speaking of young players, I was surprised by this move by Dave Roberts, the manager of the Dodgers. Now, they're not playing well. He decided to make an issue here. He decided to make a point with his young star, Cody Bellinger. He pulls Bellinger out of the game in the 5th inning for what he deemed there a lack of hustle. Thought he should have made it to third base. Bellinger's explanation afterwards, he sort of slipped after hitting the ball, and then he didn't want to make an out at third in a game where they're losing by 4 runs. His coach was trying to make an example of it.
You probably want him to hustle in the second to see if you have a chance. Don't just make the decision when you're halfway down first base line.
How about this debut? This is Pirates pitcher Nick Kingham. In his major league debut, he took a perfect game into the 7th. He winds up joining Johnny Cueto, the only pitchers in the last 100 years with 1 hit allowed, no walks, and at least 9 strikeouts in their major league debut. And here's the celebration. They covered it in mustard.
You lost me at mustard.
Yeah.
It's just
not
weird.
my favorite condiment.
Not mine, unless it's spicy mustard, which that clearly is not. So we're out.
It seems like a very unusual celebration. They come up with new stuff. Like
Wasteful.
I like this silent treatment celebration they're doing in the dugout now in baseball. That
I would love
kind of amuses me. Would you rather drink beer off a fish or be
Individual
covered in
athlete.
Beer off a fish covered in mustard.
No, beer off fish.
Can we go with neither?
There's just certain things I'm not doing. I'm not drinking off of that nasty fish, period.
Real straight up.
But would you eat the fish?
I might eat
a gefilte fish?
Yeah, that's
I ain't gonna eat
now, that's something different now. Yeah.
And that's something else.
I was a lot of smelts growing up.
All right, I got to call the timeout because it's time for our favorite athlete of all time right this second, and he is UCF Shaquem Griffin. Now, he was here in our studio last week, and then over the weekend, he got that call that changed his life.
Hello?
Shaquem.
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's John Schneider calling, buddy. How you doing?
I can't even breathe right now.
Yeah, it's a dream come true for us too, buddy. We're happy to have you, man. You get to play with your brother again, okay? We're gonna pick you right here, okay? 141.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yay.
So there's a great moment. Again, Shaquem Griffin drafted into the NFL draft. You were aware that he had to have his hand amputated as a young boy, and you look about who he has inspired. This is 12-year-old Juliana.
Hi, Shaquem. It's Juliana. I love watching you play football in college, and I can't wait to cheer you on in the NFL. Good luck.
Watch.
Good luck.
How about that?
I love it.
The aerial. I mean, so we made the point when he was here that he didn't want to be viewed as just a great story. He wanted to be viewed as a great football player, which he is. But you must never overlook the impact that someone like that accomplishing what he has accomplished has on young people like that.
No, I think it's amazing. Obviously, overcoming the obstacles he's had to overcome to get to the point that where he was a great college player, but now to be drafted, I think it inspires people so far beyond the game that do so many different things. And he may not want to admit it, and he may want the glory as a football player, but what he's done as a person is going to be far beyond what he accomplishes on the field.
I'm so happy he got drafted by the Seahawks. He's a twin, and he gets to play with his brother.
That's crazy.
We've seen this play out in the NBA with the Morris twins. They were inseparable. And for them to be teammates,
split them up.
That's going to allow both of those guys to be more effective.
It could not have worked out better in every conceivable way. All right, we'll take a break here. Coming up, Steelers star Antonio Brown. He may be the best receiver in the league, but his diet is far from the best on earth. We'll explain that. Plus, I'm looking forward to this. We're going live to France, where Marty Smith is hanging out with the guys. Michigan, Marty, what do you have?
Bonjour, y'all. That's right. I'm Marty Smith in Paris with Jim Harbaugh and Jalen's Michigan Wolverines.
Hail to the victors.
He's so country.
Oh, man.
I love it.